welcome. Bienvenido. Man, I'm so excited that today you are coming with us. Estoy muy emocionado de que hoy tú te unes con nosotros hoy en esta transmisión, al igual a través de cada zona radial. Es verdaderamente un gusto, un privilegio poder llegar a tu casa, a tu comedor, a tu auto, donde sea que tú estés. Es un privilegio, es un honor poder estar contigo, llegar contigo. Sumamente agradecidos. Este espacio y programa se llama The Hangout. Así es, where we come and we hang out. Quizás padre, madre, que hoy tú nos miras, dices, hangout, ¿qué es hangout? Hangout es la palabra que muchas de las veces nosotros los jóvenes usamos y decimos, hey, you want to hang out? Lo cual da a entender si quieres salir, convivir, platicar, salir a caminar, a un café o algo por el estilo. Así es como lo llamamos por acá y así hemos decidido llamar esta programación, The Hangout. Yo te invito, padre y madre, que hoy tú estás en sintonía, invita a tu hijo, a tu hija, a que escuche esta programación. Damos gracias a Radio Inspiración por esta oportunidad, por esta plataforma, la cual yo sé que está siendo efectiva a donde sea y a todos los lugares que puede alcanzar. Estoy muy contento porque hoy en esta ocasión están varios invitados conmigo. Tú no los puedes ver del otro lado de nuestro estudio, pero aquí estamos. Aquí está conmigo Brianna, que estuvo conmigo la próxima vez. Brianna, how are you? How are you feeling, dude? I'm glad that you're here. La semana pasada hubo una conversación increíble. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, what you like to do and what you don't like to do, and why are you so excited to be here?
My name is Brianna. I don't think a last name is needed. Brianna, and I'm the youth. Oh yeah, and Social Security. My name is Brianna, and I am a youth leader at our church, and I'm excited to be here because last time we had a conversation that was really insightful. It was beneficial. It was really cool, and you get to learn other people, and you build community and things like that, and I really do enjoy it because I feel like people need to hear these conversations. It's the same point, the same idea that I have from last time. It's the same one that we're going to be going.
Yes, you know, this is what this is about. Conversations, deep conversations, conversations that probably have not been spoken behind a pulpit, a Friday night prayer, a Sunday service. My desire is honestly to be able to come down, to speak with transparency and honesty, to be able to help you that are tuning in today, you that are watching. Our hope and our main encouragement is to be able to help you. Honestamente, nuestro deseo es precisamente eso, tener conversaciones a profundidad que verdaderamente puedan trascender algo aquí en tu corazón. Tú que nos escuchas, sabes, hay conversaciones las cuales están por tomar lugar en estos minutos por entrar, que yo sé que van a tener cambio, reformación, transición, a cual sea el nombre de la área en tu vida donde tú necesitas oír. Y no solamente hoy está aquí Brianna con nosotros, I got Kareli is here with us. Kareli, wow, so excited that que estás aquí con nosotros. Introdúcete un poquito con nosotros para conocerte un poco más mejor.
Pues mi nombre es Kareli Vega, estoy trabajando en la iglesia como líder de música de un grupo de jóvenes y aunque llevo aquí un año, ha sido una bendición que pues estar en este programa en donde podamos convivir, ser transparentes y platicar un poco cada uno lo que hemos vivido con Dios y de dónde nos ha sacado y hacia dónde nos va a llevar en su propósito. Así que mucho gusto, mi nombre es Kareli.
Come on. Ahora, lo más interesante, the most incredible part of this, es lo siguiente. Los jóvenes que hoy tú ves aquí conmigo, quizás tú dices, wow, man, seguramente que tienen amistad de años. Pues sabes, así se siente. It feels as if we were friends for a long time. Pero si yo te compartiera qué tanto tiempo tenemos de conocernos, tú no me lo podrías creer. Y estoy aquí con un buen y gran amigo también que me acompaña, el cual pudiera contar los días de hace cuán poco fue que nos conocimos. I got Daniel Dubon in the house here with me today. Daniel, how are you, man? How you feeling?
Pretty good, man. Happy to be here, to share time with you. Like you said, we just met like three weeks ago, but it feels like 3 years, maybe even longer.
Like 3 decades? Or wait, no, I'm still not that old. I'm still not that old.
But, I'm just so happy to be here, man, and you're opening a space to a whole generation. And that's what it's all about, to share, to convivir, And I'm so happy that this time is to, show people that that things that you don't see daily, like at church,
Yeah.
So the space is very important for people like, oh, I was in that, or I'm feeling like that too, So it's like, it's great because I know for a fact that we're going to be showing people that, hey, you're not alone. That is just a beautiful thing, man. Happy to be here.
That's the purpose. Es el propósito y el deseo. That is really the purpose and the desire. And I find it beautiful that we can all come together without knowing each other, for years or for months, not even for a year. But, I believe that what brings us together is, number one, our faith. We got faith, we got love, and we all come together when it comes to having the same spirit. And I got 2 friends of mine that are here with me as well, all the way from Los Angeles, California, which is about, 20 minutes from here. Is that really that far? But I just want to give you a big introduction. I've been knowing your parents for a little bit over 5 years. I still remember the first time they invited me to their church. Oh my God, I was so excited. I still get excited. I was there about a month ago and I was excited. I was thrilled. And I always feel really honored to be able to also have friendships that have been on the long run and that adds value to my life. Let's pass on the mic to them because I'd like for them to introduce themselves.
Here next to me is my little brother Abraham. We're as Jay said right now, we are from a church that our parents have worked with him for a very long time, and we are so happy to be here today, and it is truly a privilege to be working here with you.
It's my privilege, man. It really, really is. It really, really is. Come on. Take it away. Introduce yourself too.
Yeah, hello, my name's Abraham.
Pass him the mic. There we go.
Yeah, hello, my name's Abraham, and I think it's a nice privilege to be here and a good opportunity. I know God has a lot of doors for us, and when He opens them, I think it's good that we enter through that door and we see what the opportunities God gives us. And when He closes doors, it's also good not to touch them. So I think this door that He opened, I'm pretty glad to be here.
Wow, that is amazing. You are talking about something really important. Come on, we can give it up right there too. Open doors and closed doors. This is actually one of the questions that a young one sent in. And she was asking me, how do I know that this is from God or if it's not from God? You see, sometimes doors can be open and they cannot be from God. And I believe that sometimes our young people, we are going through seasons where it can be really difficult, but it is so important. The decisions that we are taking right now can bring a huge effect later. You mentioned about open doors. You see, knowing that not every open door should be a door that you should walk through. Not every, call that comes your way should be a call that you should accept. The power of understanding and discerning what truly comes from God and what does not truly comes from God. We are living in challenging times. We're living in times where you can't even call anybody a friend no more. We're living in times where genuinely not everything that shines is gold. Somebody say, oh my God. Yeah, you guys are quiet, man. I'm talking to you guys here. Probably somebody driving their car is hearing me. They're saying, oh my God, there's so much traffic right now. We are living in challenging times where we need to know what friends to choose, what things to do, what opportunities to take and not to take. Now, we're almost going to go to a pause, but before that, I want you to stay because we are going to be addressing questions that you sent to us. Antes de irnos a la pausa, quiero que recuerdes, no te vayas porque hay preguntas las cuales vamos a estar contestando que son muy necesarias y muy importantes, tanto para padres de familia, al igual para tu joven. Recibimos tus preguntas y hoy tenemos respuestas. Así que no te vayas y regresamos muy pronto después de esta pausa. This is The Hangout. Regresamos próximamente después de la pausa.
Hola, soy Osvaldo.
Soy Rubén.
Soy Linda.
Yo soy Manuel y somos Rojo y te invitamos a que sigas escuchando Radio Inspiración. Bendiciones.
Hey, welcome to The Hangout. We're here. We're excited to be with you. And today, we're answering some questions. Vamos a estar contestando unas preguntas que nos enviaron a través de este segmento. And I want to address these questions. Daniel, you have the first question. Can you please read it out to us? We're listening.
Of course. Our first question here says, how do I pray and how do I pray constantly?
That's a really good question. So, as Daniel is reading out these questions, don't just look at me. Try to think about your own response as well. How do I pray? And how do I pray constantly? I believe that all of us that are here in some way or another, we have a prayer life. Prayer is part of our lifestyle. And, I believe lifestyle cannot be life on its own if prayer is not involved. Because prayer, in my personal perspective and experience, is not a moment of petition only to God. You see, God is no vending machine. And you will not go to him and pray as if you were picking buttons and obtain whatever it is you want. I believe that prayer is the opportunity for you and I to conversate with God, to tell him how you feel, to tell him your fears, to tell him your worries, tell him your anxieties, tell him even your intrusive thoughts. All these things that go around you can be taken to God before prayer. Daniel, in your own words, first of all, what is prayer to you? And what is one of your advice that you would give to a young one who is listening today in this night that you could tell him or her how to pray, but also how to pray constantly?
Well, starting off, I guess, I'll use myself as an example. When I started building up a prayer life, the advice I could first give is this, the Bible says that Daniel prayed, not me, Daniel, right? That is from the Bible. So he prayed 3 times, right? 3 times a day. And I believe that you should always start with when you lift up weights, you're not going to pick up 100 pounds, you're going to start picking up a 20, go to a 30.
Unless you're me on my first, I'm just kidding.
And then from there, I could take that example, you may not be, because I don't pray an hour. Okay, we'll start 2 minutes every, get up when you wake up in the morning, 2 minutes. If you're going to school during your break, another 2 minutes, or, your at your work break, 2 minutes. And then when you're about to go to sleep, do another 2. And then from there, in 2 weeks, start doing 5 minutes. Let a month pass. Let's start doing 10. Let's do 10. Let's do another month pass. Let's start doing 30. So I think, prayer, because people like to talk that faith is like a muscle. Well, I think prayer is too, because it's part of our spiritual life. So what the advice I could give, clean up slowly, a prayer life with God, and, put little timings in,
I mean, you're fit, man. You're spiritual fit. You're like a spiritual Hercules, right? In a sense, we're trying to build up, to this. And I believe that's where many young people kind of give up or they throw in the towel. And I believe that's where our biggest mistake comes in. That sometimes we believe that we have to get it right at our first shot. There's this amazing story of this young basketball player. Nobody wanted him on his high school basketball team. Nobody wanted him on his team. He was always the last one chosen. In other words, he was always left out. But when they were doing this interview to this young basketball player, he said that he would always go home and he would always remember the rejection he would receive in middle school and in high school, and that he would always say to himself, I want to be the best at this. Nobody chooses me. Nobody wants me on their team. Everybody must believe that I am horrible at playing basketball. So he went and he would practice every day after school. Now, years later, he gets $1 million contract. I'm talking about Michael Jordan. Would you ever believe that such a popular basketball NBA player that later even, made his own shoe line and brand would find himself in a season of rejection? You see, because we need to learn to develop. The greatest basketball players of all time were not born dunking on basketball courts. They learned, they developed, they grew into this. Brianna, in your own words, what is prayer to you? And how can you motivate a young individual, young person to pray and to constantly pray more?
Well, I think prayer, I agree with what you guys are saying. I agree that it isn't just you. And the mistake that I made in the beginning was that whenever it was like in worship or in prayer, I remember that I would enter that moment and just be like, like just a bunch of things, like fast paced. And I think there is key in entering those moments and entering even in silence, and 5 minutes of opening in silence and letting him and inviting him in and all of that. And I think prayer is that place where you meet with God. It's such a moment of where heaven and earth meet. Like, it's where you're presenting yourself before God and you're saying, you could present to him your necessity, your thanksgiving. And it's not just on behalf of you, but you're standing as that like shield before the people who are asking you, I need prayer for this. So it goes beyond just you. And realistically, the way that I talk to the Jóvenes and the conversations that we have, it's like prayer, it isn't like, I lost my train of thought.
Go over it. Your thoughts are getting the best of you. Prayer isn't a repetitive thought in a sense, because, there's been so many young people that, they tell me, I pray. No, you're not praying. You are repeating things. And prayer is a earthly license for a divine connection. You know how you go to the DMV and you get your license? Now you can drive. If you're driving without a license, you're in big trouble. You're probably hearing me right now and you're driving right now. Yeah, you're in big trouble. You should not be driving if you don't have a license. Well, you see, with prayer is a gift that God gave to us. It is the opportunity. It is the most romantic VIP reservation you can do with God. And it doesn't require of you going to an expensive restaurant. It just simply requires of you understanding that you can pray everywhere and anywhere. Have you got back from?
I got it. Yes, I did.
All right.
So, and I think another thing that we should talk about is that, like, sometimes realistically, if you think about prayer, realistically, there's going to be moments in your life where you're not going to want to pray. And that's not something that should that's not something that should bring shame or guilt, because once again, I'm always thinking about, like, what is the enemy trying to do in the midst of all of this, in the midst of that feeling of like, oh, damn, like I don't want to pray. So that means like I'm bad. Realistically, dude, like we are people who we go to school, we have jobs, we serve at the church. So sometimes there's not time. And I think sometimes when you don't have the time to pray, you're tired physically, mentally drained, like God understands all of that. So it's a moment where you can even see God's grace in the middle of your tiredness of being like, this is what I have to give to you. This is the time that I have to give to you. And I also encourage like the youth as well and myself in that comment that Daniel made, that he was like, start off small. You don't have to start off like, oh, el pastor ora 30 minutos, so yo también. El pastor ora 2 horas, yo también. And if you go into it and you feel like you didn't cry, because in the beginning, I was very dependent on my times of worship and prayer. If I didn't cry or if I didn't feel something, then that means that the presence of God wasn't there. But in that moment, you are literally like he is sitting there with you, listening to you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't feel bad for the times that you can't, or there's no time.
Understanding, sorry for interrupting, but sorry for interrupting, but understanding that what does prayer look like? You see, prayer for you can be, I need to cry, right? But there comes a moment where sometimes you don't cry. Sometimes prayer, somebody may say prayer is, coming down to my knees. Yes, but sometimes prayer for somebody else can be in a hospital bed. Sometimes prayer for somebody else can be while they're getting ready to sleep. Sometimes prayer can be for someone who's getting their running shoes ready to go out for a jog, for a walk. So understanding to what prayer really looks like is really important. We're going to go to a pause. Vamos a ir a una pausa, but we are going to come right back. I want you to stay because in this new segment, we're going to add a joke segment. Repeat after me here in the studio. Jokes. We got jokes for you, so don't leave. You're going to have a good time. You're going to laugh. And I have a special guest that's coming with us with his wife that are going to be with us sharing a powerful and amazing testimony just of their lives and their life experiences. So don't go away. We'll be right back. This is the Hangout. We'll be right back.
Les envío un fuertísimo abrazo y escuchen mi nueva música, escuchen esta nueva canción Dios es bueno a través de Radio Inspiración.
Bienvenido, welcome. This is the Hangout. Y estamos aquí de regreso una vez más en esta programación. Y hoy tengo dos invitados muy especiales acá con nosotros. Y mi corazón se llena de alegría porque su vida no solamente es un testimonio, sino que al igual sé que a través de esta conversación vamos a aprender mucho. I believe certainly that our destiny is only a result of our history and of what we are learning on a daily basis. And today with us, I have two very beautiful and special guests here with us. Nadie más y nadie menos que el mismísimo Salvador y su hermosa esposa que hoy están aquí con nosotros. How are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Good. Estamos bien agradecidos por tu invitación, Jay, y alegres de estar teniendo este tiempo junto a ti acá. Como decías tú, mi nombre es Salvador Mangandi, soy del Salvador. Valga la redundancia, El Salvador del Salvador. Y aquí está mi esposa.
Mi nombre es Reina Mangandi, también es un privilegio estar con usted. Para mí es un gran privilegio. Ay, que me puse nerviosa.
Tranquila. Es un privilegio para ti hoy estar acá. Wow, qué bien, qué bien. Y sabes, hay muchos jóvenes enamorados. Alguien diga, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Tú eres uno de esos jóvenes enamorados. I'm telling you, there's some young people in love, madly in love, passionately in love. And there's nothing bad about that. No hay nada de malo en estar enamorados. Lo más malo que te puede pasar es enamorarte de la persona equivocada. Somebody say, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Y hoy está esta hermosa pareja con nosotros por la misma razón. Yo tengo mucha curiosidad de saber cuándo se casaron, cuánto tiempo de casados tienen.
ahorita vamos a tener, en julio, vamos a tener 5 años de estar casados. Ya.
Me habías dicho que se habían casado a los 15 años.
No. Imposible. No. Pero te estaba comentando antes, ¿verdad? De que juntos tenemos casi 2 años de estar viviendo juntos, porque fue un proceso largo que pues, ya te voy a contar poco a poco.
Yeah.
Pero apenas hace 2 años me la traje de El Salvador. Yeah.
Wow, increíble. ¿Cómo te sientes de estar aquí?
Bien, gracias a Dios. Para mí es una gran bendición estar aquí porque puedo servir con él en la iglesia. Para mí eso ha sido de una gran ayuda, la verdad.
Wow. So, tú... A ver, espérame, explícame esto un poquito. You meet her en El Salvador.
Yeah, porque yo soy del Salvador. I'm from over there.
Also, you were visiting.
Yeah, pero pues también es bien curiosa la historia, ¿verdad? Nosotros fuimos a la misma escuela, porque allá las escuelas son de 1º a 9º grado. Ella iba un año antes que mí, todos se conocen en la escuela, ¿verdad? Yo la conocía desde antes, pero hasta que una vez, como tú dices, que yo fui, dije yo, esa hija de Dios, creo que ella es.
¿La vistes y los ojos?
Sí.
Hasta casi...
Me enamoró.
Enamorado. Te puedo imaginar que tú ibas arriba de tu caballo. Ibas montado en tu caballo y al momento de verla, fuiste como Pablo.
Sí, mi luz, ahí luzazo. Para ver el caballo iba en el carro. Iba en el carro con mi primo y ella vive cerca donde mi primo y le digo, ¿cómo se llama? Porque no me recordaba, ¿cómo se llama ella? ¿Cómo se llama? Yo me recuerdo que iba a la misma escuela. Y pues ahí comenzó todo. O sea, mi enamoramiento, ¿verdad?
Claro. Y sabes, creo que todo noviazgo tiene una etapa de enamoramiento. Pero viene también por ahí, como dicen, la etapa de desenamoramiento. Porque ahora comienzas a conocer a la persona más. You know, there was a country preacher back in the day that would say, in the beginning, opposites attract. But later on, opposites attack. You know? Hay cosas primero que dices, wow, you know, somos tan diferentes y me encanta. Pero después de 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 años, son 2 personas para comenzar del sexo opuesto, muy diferentes temperamentos, carácter, forma de vivir, comportamiento. Aquí, ¿quién es el más calmado?
Sí, la verdad que
Salvador dice, quiero salir vivo hoy en este...
No, sí, yo soy el más enojón.
¿Quién se preocupa más?
Yo.
Ella es que
Tú nomás dices sí a todo, ¿eh? No, vaya. Mientras tú estás aquí y ella está en El Salvador, ¿cómo lograron llevar esa parte en su relación de noviazgo antes del matrimonio?
Como decimos, tuvimos una relación de larga distancia. Entonces, igual ella sabe que yo odio textear porque para mí es como que muy simple, como tú dices. Entonces, siempre de estar mandando voice notes, you know.
Quiero que me cuentes un poco sobre este proceso que ahora ustedes están pasando, enfrentando, y qué palabra de aliento, esperanza le darías a alguien que quizás está pasando por lo mismo.
Fuimos a un evento que Jay nos invitó y
Jay siempre invitando a todos a los eventos.
Está bien, perfecto.
Fuck this guy.
No. Fuimos y esa era mi petición en mi corazón, y yo creo que la de mi esposa también. Pero tú estás diciendo, Dios va a contestar la petición a alguien el 2023 y yo soy de los que me gusta que sean directas las personas conmigo. Y yo le dije a Dios, eso puede ser para mí, y yo creo que puede ser para mí, pero si es para mí, le dije a Dios, yo quiero que me lo confirmes que es para mí. Y fue prácticamente como al minuto que tú dijiste, Salvador, dame tu mano, y dijiste, y la mano de tu esposa. Ya fue que prácticamente yo...
Como que Dios confirmó.
Fue la confirmación de Dios, y ahí fue que yo prácticamente me quebranté, porque pues, o sea, sentía, pues sí, Dios, yo sé que tú me estás escuchando. Eso fue como en noviembre, ¿verdad? Fue el evento, me recuerdo. Ahorita seguimos esperando, y yo creo que es algo difícil, amén, como hablábamos nosotros, que es difícil a veces esperar la respuesta las respuestas de Dios. Nos desesperamos, somos humanos, siempre queremos todo al tiempo de nosotros, amén, pero ahí estamos esperando y confiamos en Dios.
Has tocado un muy buen punto, el cual es la espera y la desesperación que implica, para algunos puede ser en la finanza, para algunos puede ser en una relación, para algunos puede ser como un caso similar a el suyo. Y creo que todo tiene un tiempo divino, perfecto y exacto. Y hemos visto la mano de Dios hacer lo imposible posible. Pero creo que no hay mejor cosa que todo esté en el tiempo exacto y preciso que Dios lo ha programado para nuestras vidas. We were speaking with this beautiful couple on how, they met, they fell in love, and, now they find themselves in a moment in where they are waiting to be able to have, this beautiful baby and all this stuff. Y se encuentran en un tiempo de espera para tener este hermoso bebé que ellos esperan y desean tener. Pero creo que esa misma espera a veces se puede convertir en desesperación. Y es lo que quiero conversar en estos cuantos minutitos. La desesperación, Kareli, ¿es algo bueno o es algo malo?
Pues creo que la desesperación es parte de los sentimientos que tenemos, pero yo pienso que a veces esa desesperación no la sabemos poner en manos de Dios y lo que hacemos es ir a fuentes rotas que no nos llenan porque a veces no queremos esperar o no queremos obedecer lo que Dios nos está diciendo y a veces es parte de, pero creo que nos puede llevar a fuentes rotas que no llenan, que no sacian, porque no es el tiempo divino, no es el tiempo de Dios y creo que esa es la parte mala de la desesperación.
Wow. Ahora, sabes, estamos hablando sobre la desesperación dentro de un noviazgo o el joven que dice, man, me siento bien solo, me siento bien sola, yo necesito una novia, necesito un novio. Mentiras del enemigo, those are lies of the enemies, man. Lo que tú necesitas para eliminar esa desesperación no es un novio, no es una novia, es la paz de Dios, número uno, porque creo que no hay cosa más peligrosa que tomar decisiones, cualquier estilo de decisiones, desesperado o desesperada.
I think that, like when I was 15, I think I was so desperate to kind of get out of the church world, right? And I just, one thing or another led to me getting pregnant at that age, which was being desperate to kind of just run away and kind of do my own thing, which at the end of the day, if you think about it, you're not really running away, you're trapping yourself into another.
And Crystal, I really appreciate as someone like you having the valor to be here, to identify that there might be a young girl that might be listening right now, and I want you to keep sharing a little bit more about your story and over this, desperation, how you wanted to get out and how you felt in that moment being a 15-year-old and pregnant. How did you feel?
Well, definitely ashamed, right? Because I knew who I loved, and I knew that I had to continue to walk the path of the Lord. And just at that time, being the niece of a pastor, right? Like everybody's watching you, and everybody's like, "Whoa, look at her," And so that was a lot for me. Well, that was definitely shame, right? And but with everything that I went through, I think that that definitely made me who I am today.
Do you think this has also to do with where you come from? Why do you have that great hunger for God that many of us should have?
Definitely has to do with everything that I've been through. Like I said, when I'm 28 now, and I did get out of church for about 10 years. Yeah. And, my relationship with God never changed, but it was different, right? And I do feel like I owe my time and I owe my whole life to God. So yeah, definitely I'm hungry for him and I'm going for my purpose and nothing's going to stop me now. And that's the reason why, to me, it's like, hey, one way, no one's going to stop me, you know, like fighting with the Bible. That's my sword and nothing is going to come between me, you know, like come between me and the Lord.
Wow, there goes an applause right there, man. That is amazing. William, take the mic. Take the mic, Willie. It is definitely amazing and incredible to hear your stories. What is one advice you would give a young individual? How old are you?
I am 19 as of.
Wow, you are 19. What is one advice you would give to somebody who's your age and he wants a girlfriend or she wants a boyfriend? What would be one advice that you would give directly to them that are hearing?
So definitely get your objectives and your principles, get them set and as in clear as day, because something that you definitely don't want to do, especially like if you're in school like I am right now, is be worrying about what this person is doing throughout the day, because they might not be going to either the same school with you, or they might be somewhere else ditching class or something like that. So you definitely don't want that bothering you.
Yes.
And distracting you from things that are important, like your family, your school, or maybe things that are going on in church, because you also have to try to find someone who is more dedicated to the same thing as you are. Because if you are going to church and the other person isn't, then at some point, your families might not like each other for that reason, or they might disapprove of your relationship, and that could just lead to problems.
A young girl sent in a message, and she said, I'd rather stay single than marry an unbeliever. And my question to you is, why do you have to make it so hard on yourself like that? You know, I understand some church folks are kind of weird. I get it. They are kind of weird. But I believe that when you know who you are and where your faith is placed in, you are not looking for somebody only to make you happy. That should not be your reason, number one. Don't look for somebody because, I want somebody to make me happy. No. Look for someone that will complement your calling, your purpose, and that I generally believe as well that God can put that love in between that woman and that man. Don't go. We'll be right back after this pause. This is The Hangout. Thank you so much for being with us. No te vayas, nos vamos a la pausa y regresamos.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Les saluda Erickson Alexander Molano. Gracias por estar conectados aquí con Radio Inspiración. No le cambies, por favor, compártelo. Hay mucha música, enseñanza, va a edificar tu vida. Un abrazo.
Bienvenido a The Hangout. This is it. Aquí estamos. And we are so happy to be with you. I have a word for your life. Tengo una palabra para tu vida. I do not know what can be the name of yesterday's chapters for your life, but I want you to know that there is still an unseen chapter. There's still a page that you have not seen. There is still an author who is the author of authors. He is the best book writer. He is the best creator. He is the one and the only who has in complete control every single past chapter, every single present chapter, but as well, he has in control even your next chapter. Hoy quiero hablarte del corazón y quiero recordarte que muchas de las veces es posible olvidarnos de quién está en control del capítulo de nuestra vida. Sometimes we forget who's in real and in complete control of all of the chapters of our lives. Y tú que hoy me estás escuchando, tú que hoy me estás mirando a través de las redes sociales, tú que hoy me escuchas a través de la radio, yo necesito que tú logres entender que tu mejor capítulo aún no lo has visto. Así es, tu mejor capítulo aún no lo has experimentado. Tu mejor historia aún no lo has vivido. Yo no sé qué la vida te ha lanzado en este capítulo, en este momento de tu historia, de tu vida. Yo quiero decirte, mira bien a tu alrededor, porque hay un capítulo el cual tú aún no has visto. Hay experiencias las cuales aún no has vivido. Tu mejor día aún ni ha llegado, my God. El sol todavía ni ha amanecido sobre tu mejor día. No importando quién se fue, no importando quién te criticó, no importando quién se burló de ti, no importando quién juró y prometió siempre estar contigo, pero luego se fueron y te traicionaron. Quiero decirte de parte de Dios que aún no has visto todo lo que Dios tiene para tu vida. ¿Sabes? Admirable no es aquel el cual nunca ha caído. Admirable es aquel el cual aunque cae, se vuelve a levantar. Y hoy Dios me está diciendo que yo te diga a ti, este es tu tiempo para volverte a levantar. Así es. No importando quién la vida te ha lanzado, no importando cuántos gigantes se puedan levantar, no importando en qué foso de leones te puedas encontrar, no importa en qué horno ardiente puedas estar, hoy la voz de Dios para ti es la siguiente: vuelve a levantarte, vuelve a reposicionarte, porque hay una temporada la cual tú no has visto para tu familia, para tus hijos y aún para los hijos de tus hijos, baby. Tus mejores tiempos aún no los has experimentado. Logro entender que nadie puede detener a un ungido y a una ungida de Jehová. Sí, es cierto, a José lo arrojaron a un pozo y lo vendieron como esclavo, pero él seguía siendo un ungido. Es cierto, a José lo vendieron como esclavo y luego lo acusaron falsamente, pero aún seguía siendo un ungido. Es cierto, a José lo pusieron en una prisión, pero él nunca se miró como un prisionero. Él siempre se miró como un ungido de Jehová. Yo no sé en dónde la vida te ha puesto, baby. Tú te puedes volver a levantar, porque la realidad es la siguiente: tú eres ungido de Dios. Tú eres ungida de Dios. Todos aquí somos ungidos de Dios. Eres ungido de Dios con túnica o sin túnica. Eres ungido de Dios en tus buenos momentos y en tus peores momentos. Pero yo sigo siendo un ungido de Dios. Con lágrimas en tu rostro, eres un ungido de Dios. Con duda en tu mente y en tu alma, pero sigues siendo un ungido de Dios. Yo oro que nada te paralice. Yo oro que nada te detenga. Yo oro que los días de tu llanto se conviertan en días de alegría. I want to remind you on behalf of the Lord that regardless of what life can throw at you, you are still God's anointed. Joseph was sold as a slave, but he was anointed. He was thrown into a prison, falsely accused, but he was still anointed. Oh, he came into the presence of Pharaoh with the presence of God because he was anointed. I want you to know that regardless of what life can throw at you, you are anointed. You are appointed. You have been set apart, separated, chosen for such a moment as this. Baby, life can throw everything it's got, but as long as God is with you, the Word of God says, whom? Repeat after me. Who can be against you? I don't know what can be the name of your who. I am believing that today the Word of God is bringing peace to your soul, peace to your mind, peace to your heart. God today is reminding you, if I didn't leave you yesterday, I will not leave you today. And if I didn't leave you today, what makes you think that I will leave you tomorrow? The devil is a liar. Everything that life threw at you, Cain designed
to keep you down, to keep you on the floor, to keep you filled with shame, with unworthiness, with regret, with low self-esteem. But God today is telling you, I can make out of your ashes beauty. Show me your broken pieces. Show me where you gave up. Show me where you thought there was no more hope. Show me where you threw the towel, and I will show you that it's time for you to pick the towel up. Dry up your sweat. Dry up your tears and let the enemy know that you are still believing God for your better days. Let your haters know. Let your backbiters know. Let the sickness know. Let the cancer know. Let the infirmity know. Let the envy know. Let the enemy know that you have not stopped believing God's promises for your life. Sucederá. Sucederá. Todo lo que Dios prometió para tu vida, hombre, mujer de Dios, Dios hoy te está diciendo, sucederá. Así es, con lágrimas en tu rostro, con cansancio en tu cuerpo, ahí en esa cama de ese hospital, la promesa de Dios sucederá. Tu matrimonio que se está quebrando por varias cosas, pero la promesa de Dios sucederá. 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 La promesa de Dios sucederá con esos hijos rebeldes tuyos que no entienden tus palabras. Sigue orando por ellos, porque lo que Dios prometió para tú y tu casa sucederá. Ese hijo tuyo que está en la cárcel, que le han dado varios años en prisión, no dudes en la promesa de Dios, porque aunque la promesa tardara, no tardará, sucederá. En tu universidad, en tus estudios, en tu empleo, en tu negocio, en tu trabajo, sucederá. Quiero orar por ti en este momento, ahí en tu auto, ahí en tu sala, a través de cada plataforma que hoy tú estás escuchando este mensaje. Dios hoy te está diciendo, sucederá. Es tiempo de darle vuelta a la página, porque hay una nueva página y comienza con tu nombre. It is time to turn the page, baby. There is a new page, and it starts with your name. Let us pray. Oremos. Señor Jesús, yo hoy te pido que tu presencia llegue y inunde el corazón de cada uno de tus hijos. Aquellos que están cansados, dales nuevas fuerzas. Tú prometiste hacernos invencibles, inconmovibles como la roca. Mujer, no te muevas. Hombre, no te muevas. Joven, no te muevas. Persevera, porque ciertamente tú mirarás la promesa de Dios manifestarse en tu vida. Espíritu Santo, trae consuelo a cada corazón que se ha quebrado en 1000 pedazos. Hoy la mano de sanidad llega y trae nueva vida. Hoy la mano de Dios viene y trae inspiración. Hoy la mano de Dios viene y te recuerda, fui yo quien te ungí. Today the hand of God comes and reminds you that it is I who have anointed you and appointed you for where you are in this season of your life. Pick up your towel. Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me. Pick up whatever it is you got to pick up, but let your circumstance know that you have taken the decision to follow the plan of God. If you believe it, help me give God a big round of applause in this place, in your vehicle, in your car, everywhere and anywhere you are anointed by God. Yes, 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 yes. You are anointed by God. Gracias por formar parte de esta programación de juventud llamado The Hangout. No olvides seguirnos. Hay un mensaje nuevo, fresco y conversaciones de profundidad y de transición para tu vida. Esto fue The Hangout. Dios te bendiga y nos vemos la próxima semana.
Qué momento aquel en el que dos vidas se unen en matrimonio. Las promesas se hacen en medio de lágrimas, risas y un lazo de amor envuelve esta nueva pareja que con alegría comienza su nueva vida. Pero en este caminar, esas finas cuerdas se van rompiendo. Llega el dolor, la infidelidad, las deudas, gritos y lo que un día los unió parece desvanecerse.
No está todo perdido. En Cristo hay esperanza para restaurar este lazo de amor.
Por eso te invitamos este próximo 3 de junio a las 9 de la mañana en el 4500 West, el segundo Boulevard, en Hawthorne, California. Tendremos una capacitación que traerá esperanza y fortalecerá tu matrimonio. Invitados especiales, el pastor Harold Caicedo, José Luis Sáenz, Carlos Alfaro y sus esposas. $50 por pareja. Incluye almuerzo y lindas sorpresas que endulzarán tu relación. Inscríbete ahora mismo en radioinspiración.com o llama al 626-261-3586.
¿Qué harías con un mensaje que puede salvar vidas? Al que se siente perdido puede rescatar. Al que está enfermo puede sanar. Al que ha perdido la esperanza puede darle una nueva razón de vivir. Jesús es nuestro único mensaje de vida y cada día queremos extenderlo por todos los medios posibles. Encuentra contenido que te edifica en nuestra página web, canal de YouTube, Instagram, Facebook o sintoniza nuestras estaciones radiales 1390 AM Los Ángeles, 1130 AM San Diego, 1240 AM San Bernardino. Y si conoces a alguien más que necesita escuchar este mensaje, no dudes en compartirlo. Jesús es el camino, la verdad y la vida.